Good evening, students. Today we are going to study electronegativity, the next periodic trend. Till now we have completed ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy. The next topic is electronegativity. What is electronegativity? Electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. Let's take an example. For example, we know that when elements like nonmetals combine together to form covalent bonds, like hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is formed by the two atoms of hydrogen, same atoms of hydrogen combining together by sharing one electron from each, right? One more example, if we take hydrochloric acid. Here also one atom of hydrogen and the another atom of chlorine is combining together, one atom of hydrogen and one atom of chlorine. They are combining together by sharing of one electron together to form single covalent bond. What is the difference? The difference is, in the first case we are having same type of atoms, similar atoms. In the second case we have different type of atoms. Okay. So when we have different atoms, then what happens? One atom has different electronegativity than the other, right? Means chlorine has more electronegativity than hydrogen. So what will happen? Now what is electronegativity? Which shares the shared pair of electron towards itself. According to the sharing of electrons by covalent bond, the rule says that the shared pair of electrons should be in between of two atoms at same distance. Means the atom should be shared. If I make in this way, like shared pair of electron is here somewhere in between, so it will be at equal distance from each atom. But what happens in different species, when we have hydrogen and chlorine, different atoms, then what will happen? The shared pair of electron will be attracted towards chlorine more than the hydrogen, right? Shared pair of electrons are, means chlorine, because it is a halogen. Okay, keep this thing in your mind that halogens have highest electronegativity. Why? Because they just need one electron to complete their octet, so they have, means, tendency to gain the electron very easily. Earlier we have studied about electron gain enthalpy. Okay, in there also the halogens were easily attracting the electron and making the octet complete. So what is the difference between electronegativity and electron gain enthalpy? The main difference of electron gain enthalpy and electronegativity are, let's say, if we say electron gain enthalpy, that is HEG, delta HEG, and electronegativity, electronegativity. So what will be the difference between electronegativity of same atom of chlorine, we say? So electron gain enthalpy, we consider only one atom. Okay, any atom is taken and of that electron gain enthalpy can be calculated, that how much energy it will release or need to put an electron in its orbital, okay, to make it anion. In electronegativity what happens? We have a compound, we have a molecule, you say. Okay, from a molecule we consider electronegativity. In molecule, how much electronegative one atom is than the other atom of the different elements. Clear? Second difference of the electronegativity and electron gain enthalpy is, electron gain enthalpy has a unit. Okay, means it is measured in a unit, kilojoule per mole, right? Kilojoule per mole, this is the unit of electron gain enthalpy. Whereas the electronegativity has no units, because it is just a tendency to attract the electron. So there is no change in means energy change, there is nothing, no chemical reaction is taking place, only the attraction of the electron more is there. So there is no unit of electronegativity. The next example would be that here we consider third point would be to make a difference. What it can be? Yes, in electron gain enthalpy, we have seen that electron was put in the atom. So electron was accepted by an atom. It was accepted, whereas here the electron is attracted. Here is electron is attracted. So these are the basic differences between electron gain enthalpy and electronegativity. Now we shall take the next topic, that is factors which affect electronegativity. What are the factors which will affect electronegativity? So similar, because factors are very important in deciding the trends, so it is very important to understand them. The first factor would be nuclear charge, because we know that electron elements are arranged in the periodic table in increasing order of atomic number. So nuclear charge always increases in the period when we go from left to right in a period, or we go top to bottom in a group. Okay, so nuclear charge increases. So what will happen, because in the you see in whenever the nuclear charge is a dominating factor, if okay, then that we will discuss in the trends. So when the nuclear charge is the dominating factor, then we say that because nuclear charge is positive charge, and means in the atom the protons are increasing. Okay, so more are the number of protons, or you can say the value of Z. Clear? Nuclear charge is represented by Z. So if the value of atomic number Z is increasing, that means the attraction of electron will be increases, right? So nuclear charge increases, then electronegativity increases. The second trend would be, as always, it is atomic size. So atomic size, if it is increasing, okay, so when the atomic size would be the dominating factor over other factors, then because when atomic size increases, then the valence means the electron which is by the atom, the nucleus which is attracting the electron, that would be far away. So the attraction force would be less. So electronegativity will also decrease, right? And the next is oxidation state. Oxidation state. What is oxidation state? You must have heard about it, that valency. Okay, valence. So when the valence is calculated, then the oxidation state is more clear. That maybe we will discuss in the later videos. So here I will tell you just a normal example. Like we will take ferrous and ferric. So what will happen? There are two ions are there, right? So means if Fe plus 2 is there and Fe plus 3 is there, which can attract the electron towards itself more? The atom which has more positive charge, right? Because that is more positive charge towards electron, that will be having more force to attract it. Clear? So that means if the cation is increasing, positive charge is known as cation, right? So if cation is increasing, if cation is increasing, then electronegativity will increase. Okay, if positive charge is increasing, then electronegativity will increase. And the opposite trend, if anion is increasing, means in any case if we have the anion part is there, which is -2, -3 charges, okay, then that will happen. If the already negative charge is on there on the atom, then will it attract the electron towards itself? No, same charges repel each other. So anion will increase, then electronegativity will decrease. This is the oxidation state. And the last factor which affects the electronegativity would be the hybridization. The last factor, that is hybridization. What is hybridization? We have studied about sp hybridization, sp2 hybridization and sp3 hybridization. When s orbital collides with p orbital and forms the new orbital mix up of s and p, that is sp. When s orbital mix with the two p orbitals, it forms sp2, and same way. So here you can see that if sp orbital is there, both are 50-50% value they have in the hybridization. When sp2 is there, then p orbital value is increased, means percentage of p orbital is more than the s, and in the third p orbital is even more, means the percentage of s orbital is decreasing. Clear? So it hybridization affects the electronegativity in this way. If the s character is more in the hybridization, where s character will be more, electronegativity will also be more. Means if the s character will decrease, then electronegativity will decrease. These are the factors which affect electronegativity in any period. Okay. Now we will discuss the trends along with the period and groups. Now let's discuss the trend of the electronegativity along with period and a group. In period we go from left to right, and in a group we go from top to bottom. So what is going to happen with the electronegativity? Like earlier we have studied about the factors which were affecting the electronegativity. There we studied that if the nuclear charge is dominating factor, it is increasing, then electronegativity will increase. Along with the period we have studied that atomic size remains same because number of orbitals remains same, and the nuclear charge is continuously increasing because atomic number is increasing, right? So if Z is increasing, that means the electronegativity will increase. So it shows that along with the period through left to right, electronegativity is increasing. Okay. And the second point, from group from top to bottom, we know that atomic size is the dominating factor. So when the atomic size is increasing, then what will happen? That we know that atomic size increases, then the electronegativity decreases because then the atom has difficulty in attracting the electron towards itself. So here in the top to bottom, because atomic size is increasing, so electronegativity will also decrease. These are the trends along with the period and group. Like earlier we studied about ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy, and there were some you can say exception cases and all, but here there is a smooth function of electronegativity through the periods and through the groups. There is no any exception case here. How can we calculate the value of electronegativity? So there are some two scales we have got to calculate for the calculation of electronegativity of atoms. Let's discuss about them. The first scale which we are going to study, that is Linus-Pauling scale. By the way, this Linus name is his full name. Linus Pauling was a scientist. So he was he did some experiments and calculations on the base. Means he has given a formula. How can we calculate some electronegativities? That I will tell. Pauling scale tells us to calculate the relative electronegativity. Means the electronegativity along with the means two atoms, not a single atom. So that is, if we say that XA, if we say that XA and XB are the electronegativities of two atoms, then the difference between the electronegativities can be calculated by, means this formula gives us the difference between electronegativities of two atoms, that is 0.208 square root of A bond A minus again square root of here it will be A bond B, A bond A into A B bond B. Here E is representing bond energy, means bond energy between, if I say A atom and B atom, then bond energy AB representing bond energy between the molecule of atom of A and B, between them. How much energy is required to make the bond or break the bond. And here bond energy between A and A, means same type of AA atoms. Here bond energy of BB type of atoms. So this is the formula how we can calculate the you can say difference of electronegativities of two atoms in a molecule, and the bond energy should be in kilocalorie per mole. Okay, the unit of bond energy used here, that is in kilocalorie per mole. The second scale which we use to measure the electronegativity is called Mulliken scale. That is called Mulliken scale. Okay, according to Mulliken scale, he said that if we know the first ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy of any atom, then the, you can say, X we have taken again, let's take Y this time. Any atom Y is there, so the electronegativity of Y would be the average of first ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy of the atom, means IE1 plus EA1 by 2. This is the formula of Mulliken scale. Okay, I hope it is clear. Please note these formulas. Okay, now I have taken here the example of a Pauling scale values of period 2 elements and period 3 elements. We will discuss the trend of the electronegativity on the basis of these values. You can see the lithium has electronegativity value of 1. There is no unit of it. 1. It is means calculated according to the presence of any atom in given group. Okay, in any group of molecules. Okay, so in a molecule, lithium has value 1, beryllium 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.54. So you can see there is a gradual change in the electronegativity. Then in the third period, if you see, the value is drastically changed. From 1 it is 0.9, 1.5, 1.2. From 2 it is 1.5, 2.5, 1.8, 3, 2.1, 3.5, 2.5, 4 and 3. Means there is a difference of approximately value of 1, at least 1, or you can see here 0.7, 0.9. It clear, means this many of large difference. After these groups, if you go in the fourth period or third, fifth period, then the values are not changing so much drastically. Why it happens? Because of the smaller size of the second period element. As we have discussed in the electron gain enthalpy part also, that the second group period show the anomalous behavior because of their extremely small sizes. So this you can understand by this example. Out of this, I consider that if you learn few values of few elements, like for example, which are used mostly is oxygen, nitrogen, carbon. The elements these are basically used here: chlorine and sodium, magnesium, aluminium. Aluminium, if you don't consider, doesn't matter. Some values are there, some atoms are there. If you learn these values, then it would be easy for your further studies in this chapter or the topics. Now let's discuss on the basis of these values some applications of electronegativity. Okay, so some important applications of electronegativity where it is used are: the first point is for the naming of the compound. As you have already said, that naming of the compound, that means that nomenclature, right? So for example, like if we know that some compounds are like hydrochloric acid. Okay, this is called hydrogen chloride. Why it is called hydrogen chloride? If we see the electronegativity difference, hydrogen has electronegativity value of 2.1 and chlorine has value of 3, right? This is 3. Hydrogen value is not given here. If you want to write, you can write it is 2.1. Hydrogen electronegativity is very high because it is you can say very smaller element, right? Very smallest element. So here you can see the difference is the 3. This value is more. So the element which has more electronegativity, that gets eyed with its name. So what will become? Hydrogen chloride, right? Let's take one more example, like PCl5. You must have heard this formula in the junior classes also. PCl5. This is called phosphorus pentachloride. Phosphorus pentachloride. Again, you see the value of phosphorus. It is 2.5. Chlorine, that is again 3. Difference you can see easily. 3 is bigger than the 2.1. So the ide will be added to chlorine. Similarly, when the oxides are formed, like carbon dioxide, oxygen has more electronegativity than carbon. Then oxygen gets ide. Okay. Similarly, fluorine. Fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table. Clear? So these are the examples of this first application. Let's take one more application where it is used. So electronegativity helps us to determine the, you can say, metallic and non-metallic character. Metallic and non-metallic character. How it determines metallic and non-metallic character? If electronegativity of any atom is higher, very much higher than the other atom, then it will be considered as non-metal, right? Because electronegativity is high, that means it is attracting the electron, so it would be non-metal. And if electronegativity is low, so what happens? It will not be able to attract the electron. We know that metals lose the electrons easily, so it will be a metal. Clear? So this is the second, you can say, second application of electronegativity. Very important application. The next is very important application. The third is to check the strength of any bond. We can say it, bond strength means how much is strong any bond between two atoms. Let's take an example of hydrogen with halogens, covalent bond. So that is hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, and hydrogen iodide. I hope from name easily you can consider I am talking fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide. They have more electronegativity than hydrogen. Hydrogen has 2.1, fluorine has 4. Difference is approximately 1.9. Hydrogen is 2.1, chlorine is 3.5. Sorry, chlorine is 3. Difference is 0.7. Then from bromine, less value, even less value, iodine, even less value. Because in group we know na electronegativity decreases. Electronegativity, electron gain enthalpy, ionization enthalpy, everything they have same trend with some exception cases. Along with the period they increase, along with the group they decrease. So you see the electronegativity difference of this compound is more than the other compound, than the last compound. So this will be having the highest bond strength in between them. These are the some basic applications of electronegativity. That's it about this topic. Let's continue. We will continue the next topics in the next videos. Thank you.